Welcome to AI Convo Cast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Quick housekeeping. Check out the affiliate links in our description. Using them supports the show, and please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at what feels like a really significant trend in AI for 2025. It's called Agentic AI.
Right. And it's a fundamental shift, really. Think of AI that doesn't just, process info, but can actually reason through problems.
And act independently, like solve them on its own.
Exactly. Much like how a person might break down a big task into smaller steps, it's moving beyond just assisting us.
Towards more autonomy.
Yeah, a greater degree of autonomy. And that opens up some, fascinating possibilities.
Like what kind of things?
Well, imagine AI tackling complex scientific research with maybe less direct human oversight.
Okay.
Or generating specific code for a problem, or maybe even handling entire customer service flows.
We're already seeing hints of this, aren't we? I've read about OpenAI's O1, and Google DeepMind has Mariner.
That's right. They're showing some impressive capabilities already in areas like math, physics.
It really makes you think about handling those super intricate challenges.
It does. But naturally, as they get more autonomous, the big question arises, for everyone watching this space.
How do we trust them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How reliable are they? What about unexpected actions? And crucially, what safeguards, what guidelines do we need?
Yeah, the safety aspect. I know places like UC Berkeley are looking into this.
They are, among others. It's a critical area of research alongside the capability development.
These are definitely the questions we need to grapple with. So, okay, our mission today in this deep dive, let's try to get a handle on Agentic AI as it stands in 2025.
Sounds good. What defines it, what's driving it, where the experts see it going?
Right. So let's start right there. What is Agentic AI in 2025? What makes it different from, say, the AI we were talking about last year?
Well, the core difference, I'd say, is this push towards autonomy. It's not like traditional AI with fixed rules, or even generative AI, which is mostly about creating content.
Like text or images.
Right. Agentic AI has this capacity for goal-driven behavior. It can adapt its approach to reach those goals. Agency is key, the ability to act independently towards an objective.
So it's not just following my specific instructions step by step.
Not entirely. It's more like giving a smart assistant the objective and letting them figure out the best way to achieve it.
Okay, I like the analogy sometimes used. If generative AI is the co-pilot helping you draft something, then Agentic AI is more like setting the destination and hitting autopilot.
That's a great way to put it. It takes the outputs, the things generative AI can make, and then strategically applies them to hit a specific target.
And we're seeing generative AI adoption explode, right?
Oh, absolutely. Businesses went from maybe 55% using it to around 75% in just the last year. It's huge.
Wow.
And now, the forecasts, they're suggesting that by, say, 2028, maybe 15% of routine workplace decisions could be handled autonomously by these agentic systems.
15%. That's not trivial. That's a noticeable chunk of day-to-day operations.
It really is. It signals a pretty major shift in how work might get done. We heard Microsoft's Chris Young call it a full-scale transformation.
Yeah, that phrase stuck with me. Suggests something bigger than just the next incremental update.
Definitely. And a huge piece of what's making this possible now in 2025 is the tech breakthrough in advanced reasoning capabilities. That's a defining feature.
Okay, reasoning. So they're not just finding patterns in data anymore. They're actually thinking, more like we do.
In a way, yes. Models like OpenAI's O1, they're showing they can tackle complex problems using logical steps. It looks more like human problem solving.
In what kinds of areas?
Areas needing structured thought. Science, coding, legal analysis is a big one, even medicine. Comparing contracts, generating code that actually works, managing workflows with multiple stages. They're getting good at these.
That's way beyond just classifying an image or predicting the next word.
Exactly. And another really interesting development here is hybrid reasoning.
Hybrid reasoning, what's that?
It's this idea of combining very quick, almost reflexive responses with a more deliberate, slower analytical process for the harder stuff.
Okay, so it can be fast when needed, but also take time to think things through?
Precisely. Amazon's upcoming Nova model, they announced it back in March, expecting it maybe June, that's built on this hybrid approach. Quick answers for simple stuff, but it can dedicate more processing time, more thought to complex problems.
Interesting. So it adapts its thinking style. And I heard Nova is positioned against Anthropic's Claude 3.7 Sonnet.
Yeah, that's the competitive landscape. Anthropic's model is also described in similar terms. It's definitely a hot area of development.
Makes sense. Okay, so reasoning is advancing. What about collaboration? Is it just one human, one AI?
Not anymore. That's another big trend. The rise of multi-agent systems. Sometimes people are calling them super agents.
Super agents? Okay, that sounds powerful.
Well, the idea is you have multiple, often specialized AI systems working together, coordinating on complex tasks, and crucially doing this with less constant human hand-holding.
So AI teams, essentially.
Kinda, yeah. Felix pointed this out as a really significant trend for this year. And Google, at their Cloud Next event just recently, they really leaned into this.
Oh, yeah. What did Google announce?
They're clearly building out an ecosystem for this. A big piece was the agent-to-agent protocol A2A.
A2A.
Yeah, it's designed as an open standard. The goal is to let different AI agents, even if they're built on different frameworks like, say, LangGraph or Crew AI, talk to each other.
Yeah.
Communicate and collaborate.
An open standard, so like a common language for AI agents.
That's the idea. So an agent built with Google's tools could potentially work seamlessly with one built somewhere else entirely.
Wow, that could really speed things up if everyone adopts it.
That's the hope. They've already got over 50 partners signed on. Big names too, like Box, ServiceNow, UiPath, Deloitte.
Serious players. So this interoperability could unlock a lot of potential.
It really could. Imagine combining the strengths of different specialized agents from various providers.
It definitely feels like Google's trying to build the roads and bridges for this agentic future. What else did they show?
They also rolled out the Agent Development Kit, the ADK. It's open source, meant to make it much easier for developers to build these agents. They claim you can get started in under 100 lines of code.
Okay, lowering the barrier to entry.
Right, and companies like Renault, Rivionics are apparently already using it. Then there's the agent engine.
And
that's the runtime environment. It runs on their Vertex AI platform, fully managed. It provides things like memory for the agents, tools to evaluate how they're doing, integration with their agent space platform, basically the place where these agents live and operate.
Got it. So ADK to build, agent engine to run and manage?
You got it.
Yeah.
And the numbers they shared were pretty striking. Over 4 million developers using Gemini models now.
4 million.
Yeah. And Vertex AI usage, up 20x year over year. Driven by models like Gemini, Imagen for images, VO for video. There's a lot of activity.
20 times growth. That's explosive.
Okay, and looping back quickly to Amazon, we mentioned Nova. How does that fit in?
Right, Nova. As we said, it's their new model focused on that hybrid reasoning. It's part of a bigger push they started late last year into generative and now agentic AI.
So another major player heavily invested.
Definitely. They're positioning it against Claude, against Gemini. It shows Amazon is serious about competing directly in this advanced reasoning space.
So Google, Amazon, OpenAI, Anthropic. What about the hardware side? The enablers. NVIDIA must be involved.
Oh, absolutely central. Back in January, NVIDIA announced their AI blueprints. These are specifically geared towards building agentic AI applications.
Blueprints, like templates.
Kind of. Think of them as pre-configured packages. They bundle NVIDIA's AI enterprise software, things like their NIM microservices, their NeMo platform for language models, with popular orchestration tools.
Like LangChain, Crew AI, those ones.
Exactly. Crew AI, Daily, LangChain, Llama Index, weights and biases for tracking experiments. They're integrating all these key pieces. So NVIDIA is essentially providing the optimized building blocks, making it easier for developers to assemble these agentic systems.
Precisely. Streamlining the process, providing the optimized software stack, and the integrations needed to get these complex systems up and running more efficiently.
Okay, that makes sense. So we have the definition, the big players, the tools. What about the key trends? What's really shaping how this field is moving right now?
Good question. Several big ones stand out. First, definitely increased autonomy. We touched on this, but it's worth emphasizing.
More independent decision-making.
Yeah. With humans maybe shifting more towards verifying outcomes rather than directing every step, this enables that idea of team-based AI, multiple agents collaborating on complex stuff without constant human input.
Right, that AI team concept again. Seems powerful. What else?
Multimodal capabilities. This is huge. Agents aren't just text in, text out anymore.
Images, video.
Images, video, audio, even 3D data potentially. They can integrate expertise across these formats. This makes interaction feel much more natural.
How so?
Well, an agent could, say, see something through a camera, understand you talking to it, and then respond visually. or maybe even speak back.
Okay, that feels much closer to how we interact with the world.
Exactly. That connects to another trend, integration with spatial computing.
Spatial computing, like understanding physical space or VR environments.
Both, potentially. It's about AI understanding natural human behavior gestures, the way we speak, the context of a situation within a space. The idea is we won't need complex commands. The AI will just get it more intuitively.
That could fundamentally change user interfaces, how we use tech.
It really could. And then there's how they handle information itself. We're seeing advancements in retrieval augmented generation, or RAG.
RAG, I've heard that term. It helps AI ground its answers in real data, right?
Correct. It pulls in relevant info from external sources to make the output more accurate and context-aware. But now, in 2025, we're seeing the evolution to multiple partition RAG, or MRAG.
MRAG, okay. What's the difference?
It's more sophisticated. It uses multi-agent reinforcement learning. Basically, you have specialized agents. One might be good at figuring out what information is most relevant from memory or databases. Another agent focuses on generating the best response using that selected info.
Ah, like a specialized team again, but for information retrieval and generation.
Exactly. And it learns continuously, getting better over time.
Okay, that sounds much more powerful. And underpinning all this, the technical frameworks.
Yeah, they're crucial. Frameworks like LangChain, AutoGen, CrewAI, they're becoming essential plumbing. They give structure for designing agents, letting them talk to APIs, manage context, use tools, coordinate with each other.
So they provide the organizational structure for building these complex systems.
Pretty much. And, of course, reinforcement learning is absolutely vital. That's how these agents learn to make the best sequence of decisions over time, rewarding good outcomes, learning from mistakes.
And it works. We're seeing improvements.
Oh, yeah. Studies have shown significant bumps in performance for tasks like text summarization, machine translation, even generating more natural dialogue like 11%, 8%, 12% improvements cited in some research thanks to better reinforcement learning techniques.
Okay, the tech is clearly moving fast. But what about the bigger picture, the implications, ethics?
Absolutely crucial conversation.
Yeah.
One area is access to justice and equity. Agentic AI could make things like legal advice more affordable, maybe.
That's the potential upside.
But the challenge is ensuring everyone has access. We don't want a bigger digital divide, especially in critical areas like law.
Right, and privacy. These agents might need a lot of data.
Huge issue. Data privacy and transparency. Companies need to be really clear about what data they're using for training, how agents make decisions. D. Reed Freeman, a former FTC attorney, emphasized transparency is vital, especially in a competitive market. Users need to know.
Transparency is key for trust. What about regulation overall?
It's tricky. Predictions, especially for the U.S., suggest maybe less direct regulation than you might expect, despite the increase in complexity. Sanford HEI's report touched on this.
Less regulation. That seems counterintuitive given the power here.
It presents both opportunities for innovation and, well, potential risks that need careful management. It's a very active debate.
Okay, so ethics and regulation are ongoing, complex discussions. Looking just ahead, near future, what are the big expectations?
I think we'll definitely see broader enterprise adoption, more companies trying these systems out. Success will really hinge on good integration into existing workflows and solid monitoring.
Not just deploying it, but making it work with the business.
Exactly. Also, expect more industry-specific applications. Agents tailored very precisely for, say, healthcare workflows or financial analysis or manufacturing processes.
Specialized tools for specialized jobs.
Right. And the advanced coordination systems, those super agents we talked about, that will likely accelerate. We'll see more complex AI ecosystems emerge.
And performance. Just keep getting better.
That's the expectation. Driven by those refinements in reasoning, better multi-agent coordination, better learning techniques, continuous improvement.
It really feels like agentic AI, as of April 2025, marks a genuine turning point.
I think so too. We're moving past AI that just responds towards systems that can set goals and proactively figure out how to achieve them.
And the big players, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, NVIDIA, they're all putting serious resources behind this, building the tools, the frameworks.
They absolutely are. It's this combination of advanced reasoning and autonomous action that's so powerful, it could fundamentally change how we tackle complex problems.
In business, science, maybe even daily life eventually.
For sure. And while those ethical and regulatory discussions are, incredibly important and ongoing,
Yeah.
the sheer momentum of innovation here is undeniable. We're going to see these capabilities expand and evolve pretty rapidly in the coming years.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. It's clear agentic AI isn't just hype. It's a really transformative shift happening right now.
Agreed. It's a space to watch very closely.
Definitely. So to leave our listeners with something to think about, as AI becomes increasingly autonomous, what new skills, what perspectives do you think will be most valuable for us humans to cultivate so we can thrive alongside it in this evolving landscape? Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.